Hello, fellow diecasters. Welcome to another insane episode here on Diecast Insanity. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you've been having a little more luck than I have finding cars lately. We're back into another dry spell again. Had a whole lot of luck. Don't have a haul this week. I found one car this week. I found the new retool of the Dodge, what is this car? The Ram Charger. So, or is that what that's called? This is the second retool on this car. The Rampage, that's right, the Dodge Rampage. We might have to talk about this car down the road, but I found one of those. That's the only thing I found so far. I hit Walmart on the other side of town, and Target on the other side of town twice this week, nothing. Hit the Walmart out on this end of town at least twice, nothing. Barely, it kind of looks like I missed out on the Boulevard series that has the Cosmo, the Little Short Gasser, the Subaru, and the drag bus with the Moon Eyes car. They had 3 of the Cosmos left, and that was it. So obviously they got hit, and that was at my second visit there. So obviously I hit the 2 visits in between those hitting the peg. So that kind of sucks, but just have to keep on trying. So this week I thought we would go back and revisit our first edition series and take a look at 2004. No, wait, 2003. Yeah. So we're on 2003. We're kind of entering the mid-2000s now, which is not the greatest time for Hot Wheel collectors, let me tell you. There's not a whole lot of new realistic cars in this time frame. 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. It's a very rough time for collectors. This is the time when the Toon series first came out, the Blings first came out, the Hard Nose series came out. A lot of cars that were more tailored for kids rather than collectors. So Hot Wheels was not really, guiding for collectors at this particular time and period. So there's a lot of stuff that was really hard to find and really not some really good cars. So out of the 2003 cars, out of the first editions, I only have 4 that are actual first edition cars. Granted, 3 of them are tuned. I think they're probably 3 of the best tuned ones of that series. And then I have 1 realistic car. And then I have 8 representations of other cars that came out that year. A couple of these I need to find the first edition of. Well, I'll show you guys what those are as well, so you guys can see what other cars, what other castings at least came out that year. These aren't the first editions of that particular casting, but at least a representation of it. So we'll take a look at the real ones first, and then we'll take a look at the other ones, let you know which ones I think I need to get for my first edition collection, and we'll just go from there. So let me get set up and we'll take a look. Okay, so like I said, there was 42 new cars this year in 2003. Not a lot of, not a lot of real cars. So the only real car I have that came out this year that I actually have the first edition of is the Chaparral 2D race car. Very historic race car from Jim Hall. Very classic. This car ran at Le Mans, believe it or not, right around the same time as the GT40 and the Ferrari and the Ferraris of that day. So that's kind of the really cool thing about having this car and also having the GT40s is that these cars were right around the same time frame. It's a very cool car. This one was done by Mark Jones. Last released in 2011, so I do not think it's in the lineup anymore. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 releases of this car total. So, and this is the only one painted like the real race car. So, really cool. I love this car. I love the Chaparrals. I'd like to see Hot Wheels maybe come out with a couple other ones of his. It would be really neat to have. There's 2 out, the Chaparral 2 and the 2D, but I'd like to see a couple other of the winged cars maybe, and the ground effects car come out, which would be really cool. So the other three that we have here in the first editions that I actually have the first editions of are all tuned cars. A couple of these you've seen already from the 3 for Thursday tuned edition. The first one I really think is really cool is this, the GTO Judge. GTO Judge, very cool in this orange with the black paint and the Judge written on the door with the Hot Wheels symbol. Really cool car. I believe this car is still in production. I think it's been released recently, I believe, possibly. But very cool. Very sweet car. I love this one. This one's probably really cool. Out of the tuned car, I think these are the three best. The next one that came out that year is in 2003 is this beautiful Mustang. Very cool. There's a couple different versions of this first edition. I think there's 3 actually. One's a wheel variation, and then the other one says Boss 302 right here on the quarter. And I believe that's probably one of the rarest ones of these to find. But very neat. Still in production was a Super Treasure Hunt not that long ago. About 2 years ago, I believe. Something like that. 2017, I think. Maybe 18. It was a Super. So still out there, still in production, still being coming out in the main line today. So really cool there. So I love that one. And then the last one is this 41 Ford pickup truck called Flying 41, painted on the roof. Two-tone black and orange. Not sure if this is still in production, but very cool all the same. So I love that one too. I love the 41 pickup truck. It's a very cool year truck. So that's all the ones I have that are actually the first editions. Some other cars that made their debut that year is can't even read my own handwriting. This is a 70 Dodge Charger. Another one of the tuned edition cars. This one, I believe, is like the second or third release. Still in production today. There we go. So this is from 2007. So this is a couple releases down the road on this particular one, but really neat there. The first edition of that car, I really don't like the tempo work on it. So some other kind of outrageous cars that came out that year. The Zodiac, I think that's how they pronounce this, or Zatek. The Zatek came out that year. This particular one, I believe, is a mystery model. So that one came out that year. Another kind of interesting one that came out that year was the Wild Thing. This really sleek looking Bullet here. This is probably one of the last cars with an opening hood. But kind of a neat little car. The kind of one that's still out there today, as a matter of fact, I think this right here is probably its latest release. The 8 Crate came out that year. Really neat station wagon. That one came out that year. And then the next 3 I have here, I think I need to find the first editions of, because these are really cool cars. The Swoop Coupe. I believe this is a 40 or 41 Cadillac or Mercury, maybe. Can't remember. But this is a car from down a few years more down the road. Love my old street rod cars. But I think this might be a Chrysler, if I remember right. Modeled after a Chrysler. But I probably need to look for the first edition of that one. Another one that I need to find the first edition of is the Switchback. This one is a nice, cool Ford truck. Very sweet. The original, the first edition actually came with surfboards on the bed. This is about the 4th or 5th release, and it lost the surfboards, I think, after the first 2 releases. They ditched the surfboards. But I probably should have to find the first edition of that one. I really love that one. One that I've already been looking at the first edition of, and these cars are really going up in price, but another car that came out in 2003, the Veyron, came out in 2003. This is the 6th release of the Veyron. All of them have started to go up in price, especially the first edition. The first edition is the black and red, traditional black and red Bugatti Veyron colors. So I've been kind of looking at it. I've been trying to figure out if I want to pick one up. They are kind of up in price these days, so that might be another one that I need to get. And then another one I need to pick up too is this car here. This is about the 2nd release of it. This is the Corvette Stingray kind of concept car. This is from 2004, so this is probably like the 2nd release or 3rd release of it. But a very cool car here too. So another one that I'm probably going to hunt for the first edition of. So that's the 2003s that I have, the actual first editions, and some other ones that made their debut that year as well. From now on, I think I'm going to do this if I don't have the car, but if I do have a representation of it, I will show it in that particular year that it made its debut, and then let you guys know whether I think I need to find it or not. So that's my 2003 collection, the ones that I have that are actual first editions, and some other ones that actually came out that year. Like I said, it's going to be a little rough for a couple of years here with the first edition it shows, because there's not a lot of cars that I have from that time. That's also, I would only, in this time frame, I'd only been married for like 2 or 3 years. Elijah was just born in 2002. So 2003, 2004, 2005, we had a toddler and not a lot of money. So you guys kind of know how that is if you have kids, and remember how hard it was right when you first started out. So it didn't have a whole lot of cars right around that time frame, but we'll just keep on trucking. I hope I see you guys in the next video, and remember, leave some on the pegs for the collectors in your area, because they'd like to find some cars too, and just continue to have fun with the hobby, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Bye.